The BMW 3 Series Coupe is no more, and it's been replaced by this, the new 4 Series. Now coupes are all about two things, the way it drives, which we'll get to later, and the way that they look. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that this 4 Series is one of the best looking modern BMWs, and that's helped with this nice narrow kidney grille, just angles slightly forward to make the car look more sporty, and this bar along the bottom, which looks just like the concept car that was shown at Detroit. It also has these very feline lights which are really technical and modern looking. The only body part that's shared with the 3 Series is the bonnet. All the rest of the body panels are bespoke. At the side, all 4 Series come with at least 18-inch alloys. This test car's got 19s on it. BMW has plundered some of its motorsport heritage to make the 4 Series more efficient. At the front, there's an air curtain which blows air through this hole in the bumper and around the wheel, and then air goes through this hole and it comes out of this gill here down the side of the car, making it more efficient, cutting a couple of grams per kilometre of CO2. If you exclude the door mirror, the widest part of the BMW is normally the door handle, but on this car it's actually the rear wheel arch. BMW makes a big effort to draw your eye to it, creasing the body side in, giving the arch a big flare, and I reckon it makes the car look really powerful. And finally, round at the back, there's a built-in boot lid spoiler, and the lights have little LED bars in them to make the car look nice and wide. Despite all this sporty stuff, the 4 Series is actually surprisingly practical. You can wave your foot under the bumper if you've got your hands full, you just have to have the key in your pocket. And the boot is actually pretty big, it's only about 45 litres less than the 3 Series saloon. Let's go and see how this thing drives. The interior will be very familiar to anyone who knows the current 3 Series. In fact, the only thing that's different, apart from this fairly horrible red trim, is that a little robot hands you your seatbelt. Thanks, robot. So what's the 4 Series like? To be honest, in a straight line it's actually quite a lot like a 3 Series. It's very comfortable and compliant. However, on these larger wheels you do get some bumps and thumps through the cabin, as you'd kind of expect. When you come to a corner, things change a little bit. This car runs 10mm lower than the saloon does. It also feels a lot more planted, especially when you turn in. The steering isn't super feelsome. It's got really nice sort of agileness to it that will translate nicely when the M4 comes out next year. In Sport Plus you really notice that this car has changed quite differently. In Comfort mode it's all soft and wallowy. In Sport Plus it's very sharp and agile. Still perhaps not the nth degree of driver's cars, but I think in this class it's probably the best. Better than the E-Class, although that car has a nice turn in. The body feels quite a lot stiffer than the Audi's does. The gearbox when you're in Sport Plus is really responsive as well. The car's fitted with these nice paddles on the steering wheel. It responds almost as quickly as a dual clutch. It's really impressive. One thing I would say is that the brakes on this car, if you use them quite aggressively over a long period of time, tend to shudder a little bit at the car's weight. This car actually doesn't weigh much different to the saloon.
So while you could argue that it's a bit too similar to the 3 Series in terms of the way it looks, I still think the 4 Series hits the spot with the styling. To drive, it's pretty comfortable most of the time, and there are elements of the car that will really reward keen drivers. But it's not the super sharp drive that the good looks would lead you to believe. So some people might be a bit disappointed, especially if they were expecting a big step on from the 3 Series. They'll just have to wait for the M4 to arrive for that.